Hello people, Cretaceous Breaks here, and today I'm gonna do a review of the Bandai Movie Monster series, Spacegodzilla 2.0 and Megalon Flight Mode. I think that's what they call this one right here. And if you're wondering what's with all this setup right here, well, it's because I'm in Japan and Osaka in this small house. And it's not doing good with the charging because it doesn't work all the time. But anyway, so let's just say for this gemstone, Megalon just wow, it's just amazing. For despite it has some soft details in some areas, its skull is like very magnificent for a movie monster series. I mean, just look how beefy he is and chunky and has very slim legs for such a bulky design, and how thick his wings are. Like, dang. The details is very exquisite for Megalon. Although, I think his horn should have been silver color, but it's some fortunate that some details are a bit missing for the of paint. But for what it is, it still works pretty well. I think it's because all the budget went through the wings and even the beetle-like wings at the top. I'm not sure what they call it. There's a tag, and I only holding this with one hand. And they also put more yellow at the back for foresight. And the tail is also nicely detailed for a soft vinyl. Like, it is very, very detailed. And you even have a bit of that purplish red in some areas, and even the wing section right here. And here's this tag card, and here's this not movie, but like this short film. And the articulation is just simply like turning around his arms, but it does get caught because of the sculpt right here, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. Mine is a little bit warped, unfortunate, but the thing is that this was the last stock and I just have to get it. It's just nice and overall. And the legs can move like all the way around, but I wouldn't recommend because the sculpt gets in the way. But the wings right here can move down and up this much because again the sculpt. The back right, I actually was able to achieve closing its wings, but it depends on which level you do it. But it's like getting in across each other, and it just has presence. Like, just look at him. It has like presence overall. Like, just so much aura, and way more than the original Megalon, which is saying something. So yeah, this is definitely a very cool and epic figure. Now let's go to Spacegodzilla 2.0. And for a sculpt, and they did a fantastic job at updating the sculpt. Like, right here is the head sculpt. It looks exactly how Spacegodzilla look, and those previous two, while they're pretty good, but this one just looks better. No offense to the original, the old ones. This just looks better because it looks like Spacegodzilla, not like just a simple Godzilla with the spikes all over the head. Because I always see that Spacegodzilla head is much different than the original Heisei Godzilla right here. And there's his card. And right here, inside of it. So they did quite a very good job with the head sculpt, that's all I can say. And they even painted, although mine has a bit of issue, like some of the scratch, some white paint, but maybe it's got to do with a bit of a dust right here. But mine is just the tiniest bit of chipped. on the crystals, which I guess that's the thing about Bandai Movie Monster series, is that they're just gonna be out on the shelf and no plastic wrappers to protect them. They're for displays. But at least in Japan here, these toys has less scratch marks than Singapore, that's all I can say. Yeah. But the crystals right here are just nicely painted all the way down to the tail. Even though it's like spray painted right here, but it's still nice to have it on it, to be fully painted on the tail. And here is his crystal spike tail, although it's just halfly done. Although it is just halfly done painted. Sorry about my camera, it doesn't focus too well on small stuff. Yeah, just halfly done, which kind of sucks, but yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just a nitpick, but the crystal details are just nicely done. Even the veins right here, and I like how there's like a little bit of small like red lines. I don't know, not red lines, more like just small dots around it to try to do some kind of blending in. And for articulation, is like a simple movie monster series. Is this time the legs move. And correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I only have one hand, so it's a bit tricky to pose him. You got the arms. You can turn around this much. So yeah, these are pretty cool figures, and they are quite a bit cheaper to get in Japan rather than Singapore. This one is limited to the Godzilla store, and I was able to get it as the last stock. And Spacegodzilla right here in Singapore will be around $40+. This one I paid for like 35, I believe, with a few cents. This one is $43 and a few cents. It is quite a lot of money, but it is at the same time, you gotta understand the whole, now we live in a modern world, and I understand the process of the making, manufacturing and stuff like that. But yeah, overall these figures are great, just great. I definitely give both of them an equal score of a 8 out of 10. So anyways, for more Cretaceous Breaks video, leave a like, comment, and thanks for watching.